Thank you, Christina. Thank you, everyone. I'm so excited to see friendly faces today. And I want to start with a story. This is something that happened just a couple weeks ago. I was on my way to Portland, Oregon, and I had to stop in Chicago. Now, I don't know about you, but I am not a chick that likes to change planes. I like to go to Dulles, I like to sit down, I like to stay, and get off wherever I'm going. But that is not what happened. So I had to go to Chicago. It took me a while to get to my gate. I got there maybe 10 minutes ahead of time, and it was the usual suspects there, right? I think there must have been some probably spring break kids, because there was more school-age children than usual there. There were some moms holding babies, backpack, diaper bag, pushing, right? Poor thing. There were some grandmas and grandmas. They're just ready to go. And there were business people, and we're all ready. You know the drill. You look at the screen, you look, it's counting down. How many minutes do you start, right? So I'm in position. The herd starts to go. Line up number 1, line up number 2. I was in boarding group 2. And I see the ticket agent go to the stand. She picks the mic up and says, "Attention, passengers, flight 527 to Portland. I have an important message. My scanner is activated by smiles. You have 2 minutes to practice." I loved that. You should have seen the little kids. They were putting their face on the scanner. They thought that's how they got on the plane. It was adorable. Then there were some, I would say, 14 to 16-year-old girls, and they were trying to be cool. So they were like, and there was one that did this. Super cool, right? So in the first class aisle, or the typical business guys, there was a gentleman there, obviously a seasoned business traveler. He had his back, he was in perfectly dressed. He was looking on his phone, probably checking his emails, and he kind of heard what she said, because he was used to it, right? But he realized something different was going on, and I looked over to him, and he was like this. Like he wasn't fully committed, but he saw something weird was going on. And then he switched. Can I tell you, that was, I don't usually use the word joyful when I'm talking about boarding a plane. It was joyful. It was joyful. Watching everybody's face, seeing the ticket agent, because she knew what she was going to do. Seeing the people she worked with, because evidently they knew what she was going to do too. It was fantastic. Not only did the boarding process go beautifully, but once we were on the plane, I saw more kindness and patience and thank you, excuse me, of course I'll wait. What do you think that, this was United, by the way. I don't know that they're necessary. So from that reaction, we know they're not necessarily known, right, for top-notch customer service. What do you think it did for their brand to have that experience? What do you think it did for the employees, for the flight crew? Think it was easier for them? I can tell you, even when we deplaned, which again is, grab your bag and run, there was so much patience and just, no, let me help you. You can, sure, we can wait. That does not happen on United or any other flight I've ever flown. But it did this day. For the whole 3.5 hours, that single act of love changed the dynamic. So what I'm going to challenge you today is ask, how can you bring more love into your business? How do you bring more love into your business? There's a lot of companies that are talking about this now. There's a company that I'm following currently called Conscious Inc. I-N-K. Who knows about Conscious Inc? Do you? Any other hippies in the room? Yay! Cool! So let me tell you what these guys did. And you all probably know the story. They very much wanted to help people become more conscious about the way they act. They were disturbed when they saw how people were treating each other. They wanted to do something that would help people, again, just be more conscious about the way they thought and they acted. So they were familiar with the work of Dr. Masaru Emoto. Who knows about Dr. Emoto's work? Again, the hippies, yay. Okay, so for the rest of you, what Dr. Emoto used to do is he would take a single source of water. It could be tap water, it could be water from a pond, the ocean, but it was a single source of water. He would break that into 2 separate samples. On this sample, he would write on the bottle or on the beaker words like love, compassion, peace, hope, joy. On this beaker, remember it was the same sample, but over here, he would write the opposite. Fear, hatred, overwhelm, stress. That's all he did. The next step was to extract just a tiny bit of each of those samples, and he grew them into crystals. Consistently, he claims, and he's got this documented in a book called The Hidden Messages in Water, he would claim that the messages that had the positive, right, the love, the compassion, the hope, they would grow into these beautiful, exquisite, delicate crystals, where the other crystals would they would fail to grow or they would be dark and stunted. His main emphasis was trying to understand how human consciousness affected water. Well, the people at Conscious Inc. thought, if human beings are 70% water, what could we put on them to help raise their consciousness? So they came up with temporary tattoos, which I have. It says, be love, right, which is my favorite phrase. They have all kinds of wonderful phrases. Now, I don't know if there's been a biological change because of this, but I can tell you there absolutely has been a change in my behavior. I will be maybe thinking my husband needs a good talking to, and I will, some of you know my husband, so it's not like I'm not justified, right? And I'll look down, Sherry knows, and I'll look down and I'll go, oh, am I being loved right now in this moment? Am I being loved? And I can tell you the answer is, I need to turn it down a little bit. So whether it's biologically changed me or not, I know it certainly changed my behavior. So that's an example of the type of company that is just seeking to create a loving product. I think that's kind of cool. I also have a friend who works at the very highest levels with an international beauty company, and he works with a specific, I guess you would call it a division of this company. And they were in a board meeting. He's at the top executive level, and they asked the question, who uses our products? Not very many people raised their hand. And then they asked another question, who recommends our products? Even fewer raised their hands. I know, right? So they decided right then and there to create products that they would love to share with their families, and they would love to recommend. So they decided to go about creating this new line completely different way. They had a lot of discussions on what are the kinds of things that they love. So not only were they sourcing cruelty-free resources, they were working with vendors that had similar ideas and ethics as they did. They were also in their messaging, I know we've got lots of marketing folks here, in their messaging for a beauty product, they were emphasizing the inner beauty of the customer, the inner beauty. And because they really wanted to absolutely make this love, infuse this product, they wanted to love the earth. So they are researching biodegradable packaging, which from what I understand from my friend is not easy in the beauty product industry. But they're committed to do that because their love for the earth is just as strong as their love for their client. So there's a couple of examples of people who have gone out and either tried to create a new product that's more love-based or start a line. And what I really love is that people are starting to understand something. When I'm using the term love, I don't mean I love these cakes in the middle of the table, which I do. Everybody does, by the way. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the intelligent, creative, expansive energy of love. Some people call that God, universe, source, spirit. I've got one client that calls it Fred. I don't really care what you call it. I mean, he's obviously got a problem with the G word. I don't care. To me, it's love. And that's what you're connecting with. And that's what I'm challenging you to bring more into your business. Here we are in spring. So some of us are going to be out planting. Any gardeners here? Yay, okay. I'm the kind that watches people plant and go, you go. That's me. Yay, I got water for you. What I love about this time of year, though, is you can take, let's say you got a peach seed. Everything that seed needs to become a peach tree is already encoded in the seed. That's what I mean by the intelligence. You don't plant a peach seed and go, oh my God, it's a watermelon. That's not the way it works. It's a peach tree. So think about how this is expansive. You get one seed, you get one tree that produces thousands of peaches. Each one has the possibility of creating more trees, more peaches, and on it goes. That's what I mean by love being intelligent and love being expansive. It's creative because have you ever seen a tree try to wiggle around a sidewalk? They're smart, they're creative. If you have plants at home, you ever have a plant that you have not turned in a while and all of a sudden, right, it's going toward the light because it knows how to get there. What I'm telling you is the same intelligent, expansive, creative energy in a peach seed is in you. That intelligence is in you, and I'm going to give you a couple ways to tap into that. What I also want to remind you is that it's in everybody, even your ex. I know, that one's hard to believe. That one's hard to believe, yeah. That's hard to believe, but it's in there. It's in there. Now, everybody has a choice to tap in or not, right? Okay, we're not going to go there. That's the next time I come and talk. But right now, get back to your own peach seed. So there's a couple things that I wanted to challenge you to do when it comes to your business, your life, your health, everything. I want you to start asking questions. How can I bring more love into my business? Talk to you. If you have staff, talk to them. How can we love each other more? It always starts with you, right? How can I be more loving, compassionate, and kind to myself? Then it's going to flow down. If you're the boss and you're a cold-hearted SOB, it's going to be hard to get love into your business. You start with you, right? You start with you. Ask questions. How can we love our vendors more? How can we love obviously we want to love our customers more, but how do we love everybody that touches that product? Everybody that helps deliver that service? How do we love them more? How do we do that? It's very imperative, and I think that's a fantastic way to make your business grow. The second thing I would absolutely encourage you to do, and I've already talked to several people here today that do this, is meditate. Where's my meditators? Yeah, right. Who are my most successful people in the room? The meditators! The rest of you are meditators gonna-bees, I hope. If you teach or you encourage your clients to meditate, raise your hand. I know we've got some wonderful find one of these people, please. Seriously, there is no better thing you could do for your mental, emotional, physical health than meditate. Absolutely, it is imperative. Even 3 minutes a day is a place to start. You know who meditates? Oprah meditates. Brendon Burchard meditates. If you know him, he is one of the busiest guys on the planet. He actually certified me in high performance coaching. That guy he's like a little chihuahua in pants. He's just all over the place. I know you're busy. I know you're busy, but you ain't Oprah busy. Okay? You're just not. I'm putting it right out there. She twice a day meditates. That's why she's Oprah. Okay? That's what I would say. So first, ask questions. Second, meditate. The third I would love for you to do is journal. Who journals? Does anybody journal? Oh, yay, you guys are so good. I have to be honest with you. That was something that I resisted for years. As a matter of fact, I had a coach several years ago that said, Diane, you need to journal, to which I said, no, I don't. And he said, yeah, you really do. It's going to take you to the next level. And I went, yeah, I'll show you. I get my journal. It just you don't need a huge one like this. I do also recommend you journal by hand. It actually accesses a different part of your brain when you're typing than when you're writing, okay? So I got out my journal, and what he had instructed me to do was for 15 minutes or 3 pages, just journal every morning, at least 5 days a week. So here was my first journal entry. This is stupid. I hate this. I'm going to do this so I can show him it doesn't work. And I went on for a good page and a half like that, and then it started to calm down, and by day 3, I was getting insights. I was getting, as a matter of fact, that's why I'm here at Sterling Women. I kept getting the message, you need to go somewhere else. You need to go and network other places. That's how I found Sterling Women. That's how I created this talk. This isn't the talk I was going to give you. In journaling, I said, what does this audience most need to know? And this is what I was given. So my 3 tips for you, absolutely, I'm really encouraging you to bring more love into your business, your life, everywhere. Set your intention, ask questions, meditate, and journal. And there is one final announcement I need to make. We are almost ready for the door prize portion. It is activated by smiles. And you have 2 minutes to practice with the people at your table. Thank you.